You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Todderina show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Because I'm not a professional.
No, you're not. You're not.
Hey, take
Hey.
two. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Stuart Benesso Show.
Part
Hey,
two.
could be worse. Could have been 40 minutes in.
There you go. That's
Right.
true.
We sort of
'Cause we've
started.
done that before.
We sort of started. We weren't even 5 minutes in.
No,
I'm
sorry.
Melissa.
I'm Dave.
I'm Carrie.
Hey, Stuart Benesso show. What the fuck were we even talking about?
Teachers.
Teachers. Yeah.
Teachers.
Because
It's the first week.
first week.
Full week of school. And we're having our own happy hour.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Teacher Appreciation
I
Week,
I sound happy, don't I?
as Carrie pointed out.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that, and I was saying that teachers should be appreciated every day, all the time, because
Look, we can hear.
our what would we have without them? And as I was saying, not everybody. You don't even have to be the number one best teacher in the world, but if you go there, you care about these kids. You're going there. You're doing the best you can with with what you got, and you're just doing it. You're fucking A1 to me. That's all I gotta say about that.
I think there's a teacher for every kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're right about that. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Reach different kinds of kids.
I generally agree with you, but again, I'm back to Todd. I'm sorry,
for Todd. There's a kid for Todd.
Oh, I don't
telling
think so.
you.
I mean, it might not be a kid we like,
Exactly.
but I mean, I guess that kid deserves to have
Maybe
a
I'm
teacher.
thinking of a teacher that I just know there's no kid for. So I'm sorry. Todd was a reference I made in the Lost episode, which was 5 minutes ago when I screwed it up. Sorry. That was
But Todd is kind of like that bad. I mean, to anybody who is a Todd, who's an awesome person, sorry, whatever. Not all Todds.
well,
but,
yeah, if it's not okay. Look, there's.
but it's a word we use because I think we got it from the Todd.
I don't know. I just had needed a name.
Oh, you know what? I got it from that's like an old George Carlin bet
Maybe.
talking about names that are awful
I just
and stuff.
needed a
Todd
name.
was one of them.
So there's two types of Todds then. There's the Todd who means
Todd
well,
Rundgren.
but still pisses kids off. I mean, tries, but is just as bad at it. And I feel bad for those Todds. They could get a good job not teaching. But then there's the Todds who like kick their dog and who are just fuckholes and they shouldn't be
You mean
around
the
kids
Tad,
at all.
Not Todd.
I'm just saying there's.
I knew a
Todds.
Tad that was probably.
I've
I've only
never
known one
met a
Tad.
Tad.
I've met one Tad, and I would not be surprised if he was that guy. I always felt that I was very uncomfortable around him.
Well, yeah, because it's not a real
Tad.
name. I would too.
Tad.
No,
It's like
that
a
was
guy
his
with the
name.
it's like
I
a
met
guy
him
with the name
at
Cher.
at arts camp, and
Of course.
in
Tad.
in
One
summer.
time at arts camp.
At arts camp.
Oh my god, he was so fucking weird. I can still picture his face right now. He was so weird.
I stuck a paintbrush in my pussy. Sorry.
Funny. I love that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kara. I was looking
don't
at you
even-
when I said it. I was looking.
Remember
at
we were
her.
talking about when I finally said that to my son finally watched that and he was like, I can't believe you and Dad were saying that all the time. I'm like, well, you didn't know what it meant. And he goes, well, I do now. I'm like, right? It's pretty funny, isn't it?
No, I'm traumatized.
I'm like, we didn't tell you what it was about. We just knew what it was and it was
For the
funny.
listeners who listen
know
to
what
us
who
in
haven't seen
Indonesia,
American Pie.
right? The first one.
The first one,
because there's 17 of them.
Yeah,
now.
the first one's pretty fucking funny. Your cousin's in it. Cousin Jean. Cousin Jean.
Oh, jeez. For a minute, I was going somewhere else.
We'll just tell your mother that
All the famous,
we ate
all the
it.
famous actors that are in my family. You know,
I know.
I have
Jean.
two.
Who's
Well,
the other one?
Susie,
And Susie. Yeah.
not acting lately.
Yeah, family adjacent.
yeah. She's,
I mean, I'm related to some famous people.
we're at the family things together. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not blood relatives.
No, but you're like, I call those are like the family adjacents. Yeah.
I claim them.
Yeah, you can, I mean, sure. It's fine.
Even if she's a nut job now.
I know. I know. I'll still see, so I see her, I'll still be very
She's been on the
friendly with her.
show.
Yeah.
She was on the show once.
Sometimes, 2020 did a lot of things to some people.
Oh, like I'm saying, like you don't know my family, Carrie. Jeez, I'm sorry. Jill's husband's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know Jill?
I know Jill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't know. I wouldn't say you knew the rest of the family.
okay,
no,
yeah.
but you know Jill.
But I know Jill,
Yeah,
yes.
you know the starting point.
Yes,
Okay, so that's all. That's all you need
Okay.
for the
That's all I
reference.
need.
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah. It's easy once you know that first.
She's
one.
been in many movies. She was in
TV
one
shows.
of the Star Treks. She was
Crossing
not
Jordan.
the star. In Crossing Jordan for a number of years, and then there was some sitcom that was really, from what I hear, I never saw it. Pretty lame. There was 2 years, and she was not the star of the show, but she was star adjacent. I'll use your
Star adjacent.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
2020 happened.
And then the pandemic hit, and she kind of lost her mind.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I mean, it happened. It happened
Yeah.
to a lot of. I mean, I lost friends during that time period because they were just and I'm like,
Let me put it to you this way. Right now,
Didn't know what to do.
Today, at this moment, I'll bet you she is concerned about those people eating dogs, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know a lot of people that are
No, so you know what I mean.
very
No.
concerned
Yeah,
about
so
that.
she's okay. So,
that
speaking
the hand of God has rested on his shoulder.
Oh, okay, sure.
oh my fucking god.
So let's get back to that. We'll get to that in a second. So, because
All right.
I want to stay with the school thing, because I do have a school story, and this probably won't get me fired. Because I'm making it about me, and it's about something.
Right.
This is not me like the last time. I'm not. Don't worry.
Are we going to acknowledge that today?
What?
Today is?
Today's Friday the 13th.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. It's Friday the 13th.
I just think it's a cool day. I don't
Okay.
know.
well,
I just
that
love
could
coincidences of
explain
a fun
why
day.
my kids were all fucking nuts today. But
I just think it's a fun day that people
fun day.
think it means something. I don't know.
so last week I told a story about the job interview from hell that went just bizarre, and so from that, I mean, obviously, if I had a job interview, that meant I'm not completely satisfied with the job I'm at now, and I'm there and I'm staying there, right? So if somehow somebody in my school ends up hearing the show, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. If you care, or maybe you want me to leave, maybe I'm the Todd. Maybe I'm.
Oh no, I don't think you're the Todd.
Oh my God! From the TV show Scrubs, the Todd.
Oh, I don't know that
That's
show.
what it's from?
No, I just thought it when I said
I don't
I'm
know
the
that
Todd.
show.
Oh my God!
Which character? Maybe I know. Is it
Todd?
Is it-
He called himself the Todd. Oh
called
my
himself
God.
the Todd?
He called himself the Todd.
I never saw that
It
show,
came
but
out of my
now
mouth
that-
and it just, oh my
But now
God.
that I mean, that's funny though. That's a funny character.
I think you would like that show though.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah, maybe I should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like 18 seasons. I don't know if you're going to binge
Jesus
that
Christ.
shit. Okay, it's not actually 18, but it's a
right.
lot. It's like 10.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot to pay attention
So obviously, I was I'm still not totally thrilled with what I'm doing this school year, but I'm making it work, even though it's painful. So when I first found out what I was going to be doing,
I'm gonna grab the wine.
I threw a little bit of a hissy fit. Now, not in a demonstrative way. It was part of it was me. That's it. Fuck this. I'm out of here. And that's thus the job interviews. And I took all my stuff home.
Oh,
And-
did you?
And see, a teacher knows we keep shit.
Yep.
And so it was like books and all my laminated shit. I'm not taking it all in one day. I just several carloads throughout a week, and I took all my shit home. So now I know I'm not going anywhere. Now I'm like, now I got 2 classrooms and I got no shit.
Yep.
So I've been like, so I even
That's your classroom's nice and clean, isn't it?
yeah, but it looks like a jail cell
Yep.
because it's cinder block painted white, like when I taught in a jail.
Yep.
So I'm like, I have a relationship with most of my students, not all of them. There's some that don't know me yet.
Have them paint a rainbow.
They're not painting a rainbow. So I talked to my student. I was like, look, I got upset. The schedule, it's not about you guys. It's not the people here. It's just my schedule. You see my schedule. You know how horrible this is. And so I was upset. And I took all my stuff and went home. And that's why there's nothing on
Like
the
the
walls. Yeah, right. That's why.
Like the jerk.
That's why there's nothing on the walls.
Thermos and this
That's why all my stuff's
chair.
gone. And they're looking. And the funny thing is, they're looking at me like they weren't even surprised. Like, of course you did. Yeah. Of course you did, idiot. Oh, of course you did, Dave. And so So I'm like, so look, I'm starting to bring some stuff back. I'm not doing it all at once because that's a pain. So so now I have stuff on the wall. I have 2 classrooms now, even though I work in like 4
Do you
of
need
them.
stuff for your walls?
No, I had to bring it all home.
No, but do you need more stuff anyway?
No.
Oh,
Why
okay.
don't you
Because
have
like
the
I'm
kids
sure
help
I
you
could
decorate?
make you
It's
something.
fun
Okay,
for
but
them.
the point is I brought all my stuff home. That's the joke. It's not a joke, but that's the funny part. It's not. Oh, I got it. It's all good. And so, like, little at a time. And so one kid, probably the only student of all the classes I have who actually reads on her own. It's like, did you bring the books back yet? I was like, no, I'll bring the books. I'm working on it. Please be patient. I'm not. I just wanted to get something on the wall so we didn't think we were in jail. And of course, there's someone going, "Yeah, what is this like a jail?" It's like, "Oh, shut up, kid."
Of course, somebody's gonna say that.
I didn't.
I mean, it's kids are gonna say that.
So that's me at my advanced age throwing, little tantrums. It wasn't I don't know what to call it. Hissy fit's all I got. Even though there was nothing, me throwing things or any
Hissy
stomping.
fit sounds appropriate.
There might have been a minor stomp here and there, or a harumph, something. But
It's an adult.
Yeah.
It's an adult hissy.
yeah.
Because like it's not like as much of like a like when a child or a teenager does a hissy fit. It's really
like you
pretty
need to go to
dramatic and
timeout / support.
right,
whatever
right. But
whatever
if you
call
did
it.
like a proper adult hissy,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Taking
come
my
up with
shit
a better
off.
word for it.
Fuck. Take my shit.
right? And like it's like no one's gonna like it's nothing nobody else wouldn't do. So like you can't really chastise it and go having a. Why don't you act like an adult? It's like everybody would fucking do that.
Yeah.
So
So-
that's why I'm like it's an adult hissy. Which-
So my schedule
proper.
still blows dead donkeys, and I'm making it work. I'm not gonna lie. Considering my schedule and how it is not conducive to learning a language, how I'm getting students every other day, they're actually doing okay. But I still, from moment to moment, I have no idea where I am, what period it is. I have no idea what I have next. I have no idea what aid is in my class. I don't know which students are in my class. I'm just totally lost because every day
How do they expect you to keep track of everything?
it's all in school tool.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Sorry, that was teacher talk. Sorry about that. It's an online platform that you use to do attendance and grades and all that shit. So I literally have to pull up my attendance for the next period and see, okay, what do I have next class? Because many schools do this. They have, at the very least, they do A days and B days. I know some that do A, B, C, D.
Yeah, we had ABCDs.
which is
Some do even more.
okay. Well, those people need to be taken out back.
Greece does.
Well, good. I'm glad they didn't want me. So,
Just see me trying to keep track of Dominic's.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
what are you freaking? Oh my! And then
And again-
sometimes the same subject would be morning and then afternoon.
yeah, as I've argued, that's all for adults. That has nothing to do with best for kids.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah,
for
the kids didn't do
Horrible
anything
for kids.
wrong. They're just showing up like they're supposed to.
So all things considered, and that's kind of the shitty thing though. Is like if I make this work, then they go, oh, so we can just do whatever to Dave.
And I don't understand, honestly. I really don't. I think you're right. It is for the adults. Now they do say that they're trying to prepare kids for future jobs, which we don't know what they are going to be in the future.
Well, it's their jobs if they're going to be teachers because that's
But-
the
right?
only place you're going to get work like that.
But what they're doing is they're just trying to fit as many kids in these slots for classes to cover everything. But what are they teaching the kids? They're not really teaching the kids anything because it's not time management, that's for sure, because the kids don't know where they're going half the time.
Well, a lot of my kids who I have didn't choose
No.
my class. They're in there because they need a foreign language to graduate.
Or it's what happens to fit.
Yeah, and it
Some
happens
of them are
to
in
fit.
the wrong classes.
Yeah.
That's all that's available.
I didn't want sign language.
Right?
What the fuck am I doing here?
So,
I'm
so
not
how
doing
is
sign
that
language.
what's best, right?
Right.
So it makes, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
But the state of education. So
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to do the segues and then we're going to talk debate, but let me get to the segues because now I'm going to talk about me, as a student. Because I'll make this short too, but so I am teaching American Sign Language. Technically, I am not certified to teach American Sign Language. I have an exemption, but I am in school to get the piece of paper. Now, I have been signing for 25 plus years. I learned my signing on the streets, so it's not formal learning. I learned from people who signed English, which is basically just the English language every word has a sign in the order of English. And I've learned from people that do ASL, which has its own grammar and syntax. And then there's people who are kind of in between, like a spectrum. And I've learned from all of them. So my natural signing is this bizarre stew of different styles and techniques. And
do most people who sign understand what you're saying?
oh, absolutely.
Right.
No question,
And
no
they
problem.
know. They can see the
Right,
way
but
you're
it's-
So
signing.
you're a ghetto signer.
Kind, but if you're supposed to teach it, then you got to kind of formalize
Ghetto's
it a
not
little
the right
bit.
word.
Creole?
Non-formal.
There's
Street. Yeah.
There is, but with some elements of formal because I learned from some
Right,
formal
right.
folks too. So, so the classes I'm taking now, even though like when I took last year ASL 1 and people are like A, B, C, and I'm like, oh fuck, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm way past this. And kind
Yeah, right. So it's fine, but I knew I had to. So the state said you gotta take 12 credit hours in a college, and you got to pass the standardized test. And I already passed the test. I passed the test last year, but I still have to have the credit hours. So I'm on the last class, and it's ASL 3, and it's pretty brutal. It's a making me do math, 2.5 hour class on Thursday nights after I've been teaching all day.
Oh wow.
Which is tough.
That is tough.
But let me give you an example. Last week, this is perfect because I got you'll hear why I'm about to say what I'm gonna say. Good, I got women with me, so you guys will get this. I know you give it a look. Watch, you'll see. So we're in the middle. It seems like we've had 2 weeks of class, and so far both weeks, most of the class has been this is how you describe things in ASL. Some vocabulary, but mostly here is the technique in formal ASL. Here's how you describe things. We spent a half an hour on how to describe, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, a caftan. The eyebrows are up, so you know what am I saying it right?
A caftan.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, I
guess it's a caftan. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know what it is.
It's like a flowing gowny,
Like what
hippie
Mrs. Roper
dress.
wore. Mrs. Roper on
It's a
the.
muumuu.
Yeah, same kind of idea.
Oh, okay.
But it's a little. But the muumuu is caftans are usually a little more, like slightly more fancy.
Yeah, okay,
Slightly
sure.
nicer.
And half an hour on how to describe that kind of dress. Yeah, last night we spent about me too. I had to look it up. We spent a half an hour. There's about 15 people in the class, one at a time, describing our refrigerators at home. I'm dying. It's effing killing me.
Awful.
It's just, and I get it. I understand the goal, the reason, and the goal.
Oh, it is
but
different.
I'm freaking dying here, man. It's like, and I am learning things because I got some of that signed English that is my habit, and I am unlearning that and learning to be more ASL, which is cool. That's awesome. I wouldn't have done that on my own because, like you asked me, do deaf people understand me? Absolutely, yes.
Right, so they
I'm
know what
fluent.
you're- right.
I am fluent in sign. I've interpreted hundreds of hours,
Right.
unofficially, because I'm not.
I mean, I
certified
asked
to
you
do
that, but I kind of knew that you were going
Right.
to say yeah. Because
So-
yeah, of course I do.
So I get it, and so it's just been just this class. I like the teacher. She's a nice person, and I've learned from her. We've had some great conversations, but again, oh my,
This is so hard.
This is just, yeah, it's pretty
This
brutal.
is hard.
And I
Yeah.
just,
It sounds terrible.
I got about 10 weeks left, and then yeah, so then it'll be over, and then I get to pay the state to send me this piece of paper that says I'm certified to teach.
Oh, how nice you get to pay them to send you that.
Yeah, because you have to pay. Yeah, you got to pay for all this shit.
Amazing.
And but yeah, so I just like there's just the it's like I so don't care what your refrigerator's like. I really don't care. Here's 20 minutes on an air popcorn popper. I'm going to gouge my eyes out. I'm not going to be able to drive myself home because I won't be able to see. Blood is coming from my
How
eyes.
much can you talk about?
You would think not much, and yet.
And again, I can talk, so maybe if I knew sign language, maybe I could figure it
So
out.
yeah,
But it just seems to be kind of a nonsense conversation.
it's just it's such a weird experience. It's like I don't even know how it's kind of like how I started the interview story last week. Like I know when people go, oh, I'm a real asshole, and then do something like an asshole. Just because you announce it first, it doesn't mean that gives you permission to act that way.
Right.
So, I mean, that's really self-centered. And so I know when I say something like this only happens to me, but nobody else tells me stories like this. Who else is fluent in it? Who is fluent in English and goes to an English class in college and describes their fucking refrigerator for a half hour? It's just bizarre.
No, that's very bizarre.
It is bizarre. And it's just,
Although there is a new thing about your refrigerator that people are now doing. You open. Seriously,
I'm not saying you're lying. We're going to talk about refrigerators now, but go ahead.
Seriously,
What about your refrigerator?
It's a thing that people are now styling inside their refrigerator.
Oh my God, I saw that. Ridiculous. So fucking
I don't
ridiculous.
know what that means.
Oh, I've seen that.
Styling inside their...
Literally, they're putting things in there to, like, they're making I would say this as an artist, they're making vignettes.
Yes.
They're making vignettes in their refrigerator. They're putting in like a cornucopia and like not that's food. Flowers or like a nice vase or a nice plate.
Dude, I just want a piece of cheese.
I know. I'm like,
I need a cornucopia. I don't know what a cornucopia is.
I don't have space in my fridge. What are you doing here?
My God, the cornucopia is gonna go bad.
Little statues, little things.
Pictures.
Oh yeah, pictures.
Pictures of their kids in the fridge.
Just, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to give up my activism. We all deserve to die. Fuck, the planet can just fucking go to hell.
Do-it-yourself Captain. How to make your own Captain at home. I went down a rabbit
Captains
hole.
are cool.
Please take the sharp objects away from me. I'm drinking beer.
I just went down a rabbit hole. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Now I know what a captain is. Thank you, Dave.
Hey, we are educational, if not anything.
Can you describe it for me in sign language, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Dress and sleeves, big sleeves, frilly ruffles.
Sorry.
Fuck you. I understood all of that. I don't even know sign language. Oh my God, it's so easy.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God, I could totally do it.
That was so good.
I'm so professional.
You are. You're the most pro guy ever.
I do get to tell stories in my sign language class to these kids, like the worst. I don't know if we've told this on the show. Like the worst interpreting gig I ever had was at the zoo. Right, so you know it's weird already. It's at the fucking zoo.
Our local zoo.
For whom?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
There were.
Was that correct
They can't be still alive, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because when I was interpreting for them, they had to have been in their 80s then, and this was like 20 years ago.
What did they need an interpreter for?
So they were on the board of directors of the zoo, and it was a deaf couple, and there's board meetings, and this time for the board members, a vet came in, or some doctor or scientist who did a slide presentation on the artificial insemination of elephants.
I love elephants.
Now,
not artificial insemination.
Okay.
I don't need to talk about
Elephants.
that. But,
yeah.
I mean,
so
yay!
I guess at the wrong spot. Sorry, my bad.
So the thing is, so now knowing what I know, and again, this was a really long time ago, because I had a relative who worked at the zoo and called me and asked if I would help. But now knowing what I know, I should have said, no, y'all need to hire professional interpreters, not me. I was just helping out my aunt and the zoo. Mm-hmm. But now knowing what I know about deaf culture, it was actually inappropriate. I should not have. And I was not qualified, especially for this gig, when dude was doing...
Did you know the scientific term?
So many medical, scientific animal terms. There were times... Have you heard of the term flop sweat? Because this basically was, for like an hour, me just profusely flailing my hands. And these two, I could see them. They were laughing. They were trying to laugh with me, but no, they were laughing at me because I was dying up there. And there were times I threw my hands up and said in sign, I don't know what he's talking about. I can't interpret this. I'm so sorry. And they were laughing, going, it's okay. You're doing great. Do the best you can. And I'm like, I don't know what this word means. I don't know how to spell it. I think there's 4 Q's in it. And it was just like, I was dying. So now it's all over, right? The presentation. And okay, thanks. And now we're done. And people started getting up, and I'm like, I need to take a shower, and I need to leave now. And they said, like, no, you can't leave. Why am I signing?
It's fine.
Yeah, but it's like an audio show.
I know, but I think it's actually, I kind of like it when you sign. Okay. I know, I kind of enjoy it when you sign too.
So I'm like, no, I really should go. And like, no, you have to come with us. And they made me come to watch the artificial insemination of the elephant. I learned that day
Oh my
that
goodness.
there are rubber gloves that go to your shoulder.
I mean, I do know that already.
I did not
but-
know that
yeah,
until
yeah.
that day.
Yeah,
I know
do
that
about
now.
that. Yeah.
I did not enjoy that experience.
I bet you didn't.
No.
Yeah, I can't say I really need to see that either. I can picture it. That's good enough.
Yeah, so, no, shoulder deep, man.
Yep. Yep. I bet.
Nah.
I mean, that I'm sure that uterus is like right up in there. You know.
Yeah, but apparently it goes forever, at least at arm's length. Yeah, so what are you going to
I
say?
guess. I mean, they're big. They're big animals.
Sure.
Big animal, big uterus. Right?
That would be true. Big animal, little tiny uterus.
Right.
That'd be
Exactly.
weird.
I'm just saying, big animal. Big. I mean, and they
You couldn't
don't
birth
they
no
have,
elephant with no tiny uterus.
they're pregnant for a really long time too. I think, aren't they?
Would you like me to Google
We
it?
could. I don't know, but I think they're pregnant a long time too.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
Long gestation period.
long gestation.
That's what I'm thinking.
so,
I think so.
so back to me.
Professional.
So yeah,
That was the worst interpreting gig ever.
that's pretty great. I love that story.
I like that story.
It's a good story.
When I was first learning sign, it was working at a specific agency in town that works with children. And like on weekends, it would be difficult to get an interpreter. And if one of because the deaf cottage didn't have enough deaf kids to have it separate, boys and girls, it was a co-ed cottage. And so if one of the girls had a problem and needed to go see the nurse and we couldn't get an interpreter, me being one of the few hearing staff, if they were okay with it, I would interpret. And there were times it was like female problems. And my kid, this is one of the, I'll put air quotes on good things, is that that we had that cottage that was like a family. We really
Yeah,
were.
I remember you saying that.
And
That's
and
nice.
so when it was like we don't have an interpreter, the only person here is Dave, and then they didn't get. They're like, it's fine.
It's just Dave.
Yeah, right.
I can ask him if there's any tampons somewhere. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Exactly.
I'm having cramps.
I'm having
I think
cramps.
I had
Oh, no,
it
there was
right
like-
down
cramps
on
are my
under
doll.
my belly.
No,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like my vagina hurts.
Yeah.
So I would interpret this.
My girls used to
which,
call it their
again,
china.
Totally.
My china.
Mine's
Cute.
just vagina.
Vagina,
Yeah.
which is also kind of cute, I think.
Well, it's a different story, but anyway.
know.
So, then I would get a nurse who would try to see if I could sign vagina, and also see if she would ask questions that I knew she didn't really have to ask, but trying to be professional, I was just the interpreter and I wouldn't say anything, and would use medical terms like, well, is it the labia? And then would look at me to see how I was going to sign this. I killed it. I aced it. So I don't
Fucking know what a
don't come
labia
at me. I know my labia.
I know what a labia is.
But if I finger spelled it, my kid wouldn't know what a labia is. Right.
Right.
No, I had to do that. I set it up. Boop, boop,
Is it
and I
this?
was-
Where is
yeah,
it? Yeah, where on the vagine is it
and they told-
hurting?
oh yeah, no, not there. I was like, all right, see. And then I look back at the nurse, going, yeah, what else you got, bitch? I got something.
I got.
Come on.
I know. What
You
she-
want? Is he- and
Bring it on,
and then
bring it on.
And then when the kid was done and we'd be walking out, I would just voice to the nurse, you want to bring in some fallopian tubes next? What
Yep.
you got?
Come on.
I got
Come
you.
on.
Don't be talking to me about no anus.
I know about anuses.
I know about
I know.
I know booty holes. Don't be talking to me about no booty holes. Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I did
times.
not expect it to go that way.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's all-
But you
Yeah,
did, because
TMI.
that's what you
Speaking of
did.
booty holes, how about that debate, huh?
Oh my god,
How's that for a segue?
that
Professionals.
was good. That was so
professional
pro.
podcasting.
Okay, well, I'm the only one in the room that watched it.
That's true.
And I will tell you that I have not watched a debate in years, because never really thought like what would be the point. So I just really don't. I always watch the highlights later and stuff. So I haven't watched them in years and years. Like I didn't watch the one between. Did I watch the one between Trump and Hillary Clinton?
I started. to
Oh,
watch-
I
watched
might have
most
watched
of it.
part of
But that's
that
not even the best
one.
one ever. Have you ever watched any? And I apologize for folks who not only are not in this country, but not in our state. Have you ever watched any state level debates?
Why?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be shitty.
Mm-hmm.
One time, and the only way we could think of why was because Mario's boy, like I like to call him,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Cuomo, I think it was his strategy that if he insisted the only way he would debate the Republican, who was a nut, is if he insisted all the third-party candidates.
Oh, I did watch that one. No, I take that one back.
Because
yes, because the guy with the
Green
shoe
Party guy, there was
shoe
the,
guy.
There was the rents too high guy with
yep.
the white gloves and the curly mustache.
Yep.
There was an ex-madam on there.
I did watch. No, I watched that one because that was awesome.
It was like a clown car.
It was awesome. I did watch that one.
And not only, and the crazies were crazy, but the best one there, and I know I'm going to sound biased, but you can ask other people, the best one there was the Green Party guy. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that was the year the Green Party got the most votes for governor in New York State ever because they were allowed in the debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was Cuomo's strategy that if he put the clown car on with the Republican who was crazy, they would lump the Republican in with the rent's too high guy, the madam, all the nuts. But it was even the libertarian there was kind of like, I like what the Green Party guy said. So even the libertarian was like, and whatever. I mean, but yeah, that was a great debate because
that was great.
It was crazy, but it was good.
That was a good one.
Right. So I'm just.
But
saying,
I was okay. So I did watch that one. But that is the only I will admit, and I'm not. I mean, it's not like I'm proud of it. I should probably I should pay more attention to the state one. So anyway, I did watch that one because it was great.
They suck. They don't tell you anything.
So, but I don't normally watch the presidential debates because I just don't. I just know what I mean, I haven't watched, like I said, I think I may have watched, now that I think about it, I think I may have watched at least one of the ones between Hillary and Trump. Maybe, I think. But that was it.
Oh, right. There was another one.
And maybe not all of it.
I watched most of that.
Yeah, maybe.
And when he started following her around, I had a hard time. I have a hard time with his voice.
Yeah,
I had a hard time with him before he even ran for president.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was a dick before.
As a New Yorker, I had an issue with him. In the crap he pulls in New York. Anyway, but I had a hard time with a debate. When they don't answer questions, I get frustrated. So when they dance around questions,
that's a strategy. That's
I understand that. So I don't.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Right.
So it's on purpose.
I purposefully didn't watch this debate because I knew Trump wasn't going to answer any questions, and that just it gets my anxiety so high.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't even gonna watch it, and planned on just watching the highlights because I knew I was just going to get pissed off.
Good point.
So
that's how I kind of was. I didn't watch much of the Biden-Trump debate because
I didn't watch any of it.
I started watching it and I saw how terrible Biden was and that Trump was just telling lies. I was like, "There's no point in watching this. It was
Trump's
terrible."
Lie, so I can't.
Yeah, there was no point in watching it, and it's just so bad. So anyway, can
I ask you? I'm sorry, but this is on subject, but I am interrupting. Do you think Trump is just a liar, or do you think he's really just like some kind of like, does he have like a TBI or I mean, he's like
TBI. What is it?
I'm sorry, traumatic brain injury.
No, he's a liar.
No, I think he's got a serious mental defect of like, I think he's one of those people
you
who's
say everything he says he totally knows what he's doing. And
yes,
I don't think he can help lying. I think honestly,
he knows what he's doing.
You think he knows what he's doing 100%?
Absolutely, because he's been like this his whole life.
I think
Meaning, what I mean by that is he's been a scumbag player. I've known people like him.
Right.
Hey, I'm sitting right here.
No. I've known people like him, and they're people that do nothing. They're called sociopaths.
Yeah.
And what they
he's
do,
definitely, I think he's a sociopath.
I think by brain damage.
Well, that's a deficiency, yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't know how to
by
say
that, yes, that's what, if that's what you mean by something wrong with him, by a brain issue.
I do think that if
sociopath is what it is, yes, absolutely. But there are very brilliant people that are also sociopaths.
Correct. That is true too.
Okay. You can be a sociopath and be positive, and you can be a sociopath and be evil.
Right.
A sociopath has no empathy.
Right. And it's not their I mean, people who are born that way really can't help it. Like that is like legit, like that is like they have it. I read a book about that very recently.
I don't know if you're necessarily born with it or you're raised to be a sociopath.
And this one, I would believe 100% that she was born, something was just not right.
Or are you born with a predisposition and you have to be then raised that way because his father raised him?
Oh yeah, I think in Trump's case, I think it's possible to become a sociopath because of your upbringing, and I also think it's possible to be born that way as well.
I think you have to have the combination of the two. So here's a man that seriously talks about the way he talks about his daughter, and this is why I cannot stand this man. Way before he became what he became.
Sure, I can
understand. Is the way
Yeah.
he talked about his daughter. Okay. End of story right there.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about a defect? There it is right there. Okay. So does he choose? So anybody that can look at your own child the way he looks at his child, are you going to take advantage of other people? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are you going to steal from other people? Abso-fucking-lutely. So there you go. So is that a mental defect? Maybe. Is that evil? Maybe.
I think I'm not a therapist.
I don't know what that is.
I'm not a therapist.
He's now what is he? He's controlling
He's
all
just,
of
this. I think he might have.
But people love him. People adore him.
It's a cult.
People think he's great.
It's a cult.
But
I'm being honest about that.
It is. But
yeah,
they think
100%. It's a cult.
But they think it's great.
Well, but some of them don't believe.
And there's a great, there's a huge amount of people that think he has been sent by God.
Yeah, they do. I watch a lot of news shows. I spend a lot of time watching news shows, and I watch a lot of independent news. Though I do watch some Fox because I do want to kind of. I don't watch Newsmax. I can't go that far. Can't do it. But I can watch some Fox because there's a few people on Fox who aren't completely.
Well, I have to watch all of it because you need to get all of it.
Yeah, so I watch. You got to get all of it. I do. Yeah, I do both.
Just a little bit because I need to.
You don't have. I mean, I don't think you have to, but that's what I have to do. I like to be informed of it, so when somebody asks me a question, I can say something I know.
I don't want to be what do you call it? Not side
surprise.
But
I know what you mean, but surprise, right?
So this is one of the ways that I think. So talking about his mental health. Well, so I'm gonna. I don't know. Do I talk about the debate or I want to talk about the mental health?
Well, no, let's put it in that context if you want.
Okay, so because there was something else I wanted to talk about.
As someone who didn't watch it, but you couldn't get away from comments, no matter if you were looking at anything online.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the debate, and then I want to come back to it, and then I want to talk one more thing about him and his mental health. So the thing I want to talk about the debate was, I'm sure. Well, you all know I'm not. I mean, obviously, I like Harris over Trump, but I'm not blown away by Harris either. However, that being said, I fucking hate Trump a lot, and I hate him a lot. Anyway, but I love some good trolling. I love some petty bullshit. I love it. I love watching it. I sometimes participate. Oops, sorry, Dave. I hit you. I think I hit the microphone.
You didn't hit me, but it's probably going to show up on the show.
Sorry, I will try to stop twitching.
Well, just don't twitch on the mic.
Don't twitch that way. Twitch a different way.
Twitch a different way.
Twitch that way.
That's why I tell my students, quiet fidget. Quiet. You can fidget.
I know. True. I can quiet fidget. Quiet. Quiet fidget.
Todd, quiet fidget.
Yeah.
Today's name is Todd. Everything's Todd.
Everything is Todd. The world is Todd. Watching her, and then I also I should say this too. I was also on a debate team, so I did do some debate team stuff as well. So watching her get under his skin and him taking the debate every fucking time. As a person who likes debating, as a person who does understand that debates are not exactly indicative of how great the person is or not, but knowing that it's still, he was so bad. Well, I thought it was going to be, but I truly,
she's brilliant.
But you know what? I truly. I wasn't sure what to, just like you, Carrie, I went into it and I was a little nervous because of what happened because honestly, even though he's a liar pants, between him and Biden, he looked better outwardly because he didn't look like he was about ready to die on the stage.
Right. Biden looked bad.
Biden looked so bad like he was about ready to die on the stage. He might not have been as much of a liar pants as Trump was a liar pants, but just looking was everything.
Yeah.
And this debate,
Well, that's how Nixon lost to Kennedy because how he looked on the first ever televised debate.
Yep, that's true.
Yep.
So anyway,
She
people
looked amazing.
She looked amazing. She went in, first and foremost, and immediately went over to shake his hand. So fucking brilliant. I was like, I'm sitting next to Dan. We were sitting, Dan and I, my husband, sitting on the couch watching it. Dan never watches. He watches this shit even less than I do, but he wanted to watch it too. Plus, I was like, this might be, if she does become president, we still don't know for sure. If she does become president, I think this is going to be kind of like I thought it was a historic thing to watch. On that level, I thought it would be historic. Watching her, every time she brought up something that damn well was going to just bait him, as soon as she said it, I'm like looking at Dan, like hitting the couch going, dude, oh my fucking God.
What about when she said, what about when she talked about his crowd sizes?
His face.
What about when she
his
talked
eyes
about,
got
what
wide?
About when she talked about, well, during his rallies, people in the middle of them, they get so bored, they end up leaving.
His face.
And then when it got to his turn, he didn't even answer the question that was so important. He went, well, first, let me talk about my rallies.
I don't remember
People
now.
don't even leave because it's
I know.
the best rallies. And she just...
He had several. I mean, it's
fell for it like that.
He had several times he could have actually gone in and actually had some good, honest. He could have said some things that actually could have been
the floor with him,
and he didn't do it.
The floor
Again, not
he is so frail. He can't do it.
And what I read, whether I wanted to or not, it really the image that came to my mind was basically you're trolling your crazy grandpa at Thanksgiving dinner.
That's exactly what it looked like.
That's what it
really did look like that.
That was the purpose. That's what they wanted to show.
Right, and that's exactly what it looked like.
But
yes,
Fox apparently yesterday or today, Fox somehow, I don't know what, and I've got to look at it, somehow made it look like she told a shit ton of lies, and I don't know how.
They do
that.
But
then there's other
that Fox lies. There's been documentaries.
And then there's other people on Fox. You have to know which, because just like every other channel, they have all these different, these different shows and stuff. So certain shows on Fox, and I don't know all the people's fucking names. I don't, but I mean, I do see.
Todd.
Yeah, they're all fucking named Todd. Even the women are all named Todd.
Yeah.
Todderina.
Todderina.
But there's like a.
I love that.
So, but there's a couple. There's
like Todderina better.
There's a few people on there that are somewhat more moderate, and there's a few of them on there that are like.
Even Fox News the day of the debate were like, she wiped the floor with. Not that those words, but they were even from what I saw. But somebody I knew was like.
I mean, she told. There was I did see one thing of a legit source talking about the she didn't really do any lies. She did. Well, she of course evaded some questions.
Yeah, she did do that.
She did that, and I noticed a couple that, and I know why she did it because she didn't. She did it because she got the opportunity to fuck with Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
she got the opportunity to fuck with
eating cats and dogs after she did them walking out of his rallies. I think that's when he reverted to
it
wasn't.
Eating
it wasn't.
No, it was before that.
It was before that. Oh, okay.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't. Yeah, it kind of doesn't. Yeah. It was just. It was. It was.
Doesn't really matter what order it came in. Yeah, it was all fucking.
It
nuts,
was
man.
so. I expected. Okay, so obviously
I saw something about Elf.
Yeah,
they took my hair and my cat idea.
They took our dogs. Saw the South Park guy. They took our dogs. They took our dogs.
Well, no,
okay,
then The Daily Show. I love Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart had a good show after that. I watched it.
Oh yeah, we know. They went to Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah,
that's who Trump is.
Yeah, he is like Grandpa Simpson at this point. It's pretty fucking sad. But anyway, yeah, I knew that Kamala was probably gonna win that debate, and she did. I had no idea it was gonna be that much of a fucking train wreck. And if you want to look at, I really need to ask some of my friends overseas who might have watched it what their thoughts are, and just, I mean, and I mean,
but the thing is, everybody's already made up their mind.
Right,
Nobody's changing their minds.
I don't know if I totally. I mean, the cult people are not going.
Let me rephrase that. I apologize.
Some people
have already made up their. There's no changing certain people's minds.
But I think
regardless.
I think the people who might have come away from that debate are the. I hate this term, but I'll use it anyway because it'll be understood. But even though I hate it, I think the moderate Republicans you're going to get them.
Yeah,
because Kamala said shit that was really Republican. How we're lethal.
I was shocked.
I'm not.
Stuff.
I'm not.
No,
but she said it, and that I think that is to get those moderate Republicans. While he's talking about eating cats and dogs, she was given actual
and the
Republican
thing is,
lines.
what she's going to get is she's going to get some of them, but the Democrats, those really left Democrats, have nowhere else to go.
I'm not Democrat, but no, in 3 swing states, Jill Stein is pulling ahead of Harris with Muslims.
Yes,
I know, but it's not like they're going to go over to Trump. So was what I'm saying.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, but so like
it's not
the
like
talk
he's
about
getting
swing,
them.
who you because you were saying who she would lose by doing that.
But what I'm saying is not like Trump will get them.
Oh God, no.
Right. So
those weren't they were either going to vote for Kamala,
and that's the fucking liberals
I'm just
who
scared.
I want to
I'll take anybody but Trump.
Hit upside the head with a sock full of hot nickels are the liberals who say, well, if you don't vote for Kamala, it's a vote for Trump. I'm like, dude, if I didn't have someone who I agree with to vote for, I wouldn't vote, or I'd write Melissa in. No offense. No. Or
everybody keeps saying.
I've never written your name in. I'm gonna have to write.
You should write her name in.
What do you want to run for?
Huh?
What do you want to run for?
Secretary of State. I don't know.
You can't vote for that.
I know. I'm just kidding. Oh no.
We'll see what's on the ballot. I write whenever there's not a candidate I like at all. I write in. I write it. I bring my list. My daughter gets a vote. My wife gets a vote. Stuart gets a vote. Stuart gets a yeah. So,
cool.
Sometimes
loose stools.
Loose stools. That's the one. Yeah.
Gets one.
Yeah,
loose stools.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So I'm a serial writer.
Okay.
I think I made up a term. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I write it a lot.
I did watch I watched actually 2 different after debate groups where they had, they talked to people who said that they were not sure who they were going to vote for. I know.
Where do they dig these people?
I don't know. I question it too. But there was both groups I watched, both of them were more people towards Kamala than Trump. And I found that it was especially the one that really got several of them were women, that what she said about our bodies. Like one woman specifically said she didn't feel the same exactly the same about abortion as Kamala, but she sees the point, which is, I think, is the point. The point is that, okay, I understand if you don't want to have an abortion, then please don't have an abortion. You don't have to have one. No one's telling you have to have one, but you can't tell other people what to do with their bodies. And I think that's what some of the one, at least one woman specifically was like, I don't want the government to be involved with my body and my choices.
She doesn't have to worry about it.
And like what she was saying is like the woman who's having a miscarriage, the doctor's too afraid to perform the surgery, and she's bleeding out in the parking lot. Like, who are and Donald Trump's like, everybody, you know it, and I know it. Everybody loves my decision.
No, they didn't. No, most people hated it. The majority of Americans hate it.
Like the point is, and that's the thing is, like, here's a man telling a woman, this is the part you don't get. You don't get to say what I do with my body. Mm-hmm. That's the point you're not getting. It's at this point, it's not even about abortion. I don't think it is either. I think that's the part.
It's about body autonomy. Period.
It's not about abortion at this point. It's about you don't tell me what to do.
And nobody tries to tell men what to do with their bodies.
Exactly.
Not a person tells a man what to do with their body.
Absolutely not.
And that's the part you're not getting.
Yeah, he does.
And I was in a situation where I had and I'm not going to say unwanted, but
Unexpected?
Expected. Thank you. I couldn't come up with the word. I made my own choice. Okay. I could have, but that was my choice.
The only person that tells me what to do with my body is that weird guy in cowboy boots who sticks a finger up my ass every once in a while.
But what I'm saying is,
It's my doctor.
I know.
He wears cowboy boots.
I know, you told me about it.
It's very weird. He's a nice guy.
But it just frustrates me. It frustrates me
it does.
that women don't get half the shit men get. We don't get the research men get. No. We don't get the free shit men get. We don't get medical coverage for the free shit men get. Men get free Viagra. We don't get coverage for menstrual shit. That
okay. I would say, hey, where's my free Viagra? But
I'm sorry. It was covered for the longest time until it got bought.
No, I tried that once. I was not impressed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just and how long did it take before birth control pills weren't covered for the longest time?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So one other thing I wanted to talk about, I wanted to go back to, now that I got to laugh at how badly he did because he's a terrible person. I wanted to talk about really quickly about another video I watched. I watched this one guy on YouTube. His name is David Pakman. And
I know that name.
I may have talked about him before because I watch his YouTube a lot. Anyway, I like David Pakman. He's generally pretty cool. Maybe he's on the internet.
Maybe.
I should have written down with this psychiatrist.
Does he do cat videos?
No.
Oh, then I didn't see.
He had a psychiatrist, psychiatrist on, a doctor on. I should have written it down because I didn't like his mannerisms and stuff right from the start. Anyway, I don't know. He was sus already, but anyway. So they wanted to talk about. They said they wanted to talk about that Trump was on drugs on the video. And so
that's been a thing for a while. Like for a while, there were some folks were thinking he was on Adderall. And
yes.
There's been some. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
Because they've said, well, he doesn't drink. He's never really been a drinker. But then but he looks like he's a fucking high on Adderall.
So I suspect, and so do most people who are in the who know stuff about people like Trump, that he has ADHD, and I suspect he does too. He has a lot of the same He has some of the same characteristics I have. The distraction thing, like looking elsewhere, not looking at the, just constantly having a hard time, concentrating. It's very difficult. And we chat about all the time.
I've seen chats of his quote rallies where he'll be like
start a sentence and go in 20 different directions.
Yeah,
or
I
do
that.
Just stop.
Sometimes there's just so much in my brain at once that I'm just like, okay, I got to stop for a second. Let me think about this. Unfortunately, Trump is such a narcissist. He isn't smart enough to go, oh, I had a brain fart for a second. Hold on, folks. And just being honest about it, because here's the thing. I think so this psychiatrist was on, and I would have been, I don't know. He basically was chastising him for possibly being on Adderall or Concerta or Ritalin or a stimulant because his pupils were big. Okay, if Trump is using a stimulant to try to give him the best that he can because he has ADHD, and people, as you know, who have it, it's one way you can kind of focus and it's like, it's our best bet to focus is if we have a stimulant.
I don't know if people out there who are listening know this, but a lot of times you would think that you would want the opposite, but actually what tends to work for folks with ADHD are stimulants.
Yeah.
And what you also don't realize is that if you actually do have ADHD, what a stimulant does to somebody with ADHD is it slows you down. Yep. It has the opposite effect.
Yep.
If you do not have ADHD, a stimulant will rev you up.
Yes.
So what coffee does to somebody with ADHD,
it makes me feel normal.
It slows you. Why are you laughing?
I have fallen asleep after taking my meds.
It's not relevant to this conversation. It is my brain doing dumb shit.
Yeah, I have fallen asleep after taking my
I'll tell
ADHD
you when we stop
meds.
recording. It's that dumb.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Not, that's not
I thought you were like that. what I'm saying, because
No.
that's how you know if you truly are
Yeah,
ADHD.
I have totally
because
fallen asleep on
some
it.
people think, well, oh, you just like taking drugs. No, because
No.
if you are not ADHD and you take that medication, you truly do not rev.
No, I don't rev.
You
rev,
don't
rev.
know this, and you didn't mean to, but you basically just rickrolled my brain.
What?
You rickrolled my brain.
I don't
Oh,
know what
that's
that
cute.
means.
You said, oh, rickrolling?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the second time today I'm explaining rickrolling. So it's this weird internet phenomenon, and I won't know. It's been 20 years?
God, it seems like forever.
Yeah. Somebody came up with this idea where on the internet there'd be a link to something. Make your penis 3 inches longer, and whatever
click on
link,
it.
and you click on it, and it takes you to the YouTube video of Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up."
It's the best thing.
Did you know? We looked it up yesterday in one of my classes. That video has over 1.5 billion views. That's how many people have been rickrolled. It's billion.
I love that. I love that for Rick Astley, to be honest.
Yeah, and
I
I
fucking
know. Who
love
would
it.
have ever thought he'd be that famous?
And there's a
is
video.
one of
I
the
mean,
worst
he has-
songs.
I
There
mean,
was a
he has a
story-
great voice,
yes,
though.
There's
I
a
love
story.
It now. I hated it before, but I love it.
Oh, no,
I know, I do.
there's-
I think same. I kind of love it now. Now it's
There's
kind
a
of
story
nostalgic, and
that
I
came
love
out
it.
a couple years.
And now I'm like,
years,
yay, Rick Astley!
Right?
a couple of weeks ago.
And I can even do the dance now.
I love the dance. It's so cheesy.
But there's a story a couple of weeks ago. You can say this is cool, or you can also say it's the end of the world. But apparently, on its own, just the other day, recently, AI rickrolled somebody on its own.
Yes.
They went on and said, I need a video that shows something, and AI rickrolled that person.
I read that. That
saw
was
that? Yeah.
hilarious.
That's a little scary.
It is. That's what I'm saying.
But it's also funny. So
We're
anyway,
all gonna die.
anyway,
AI is going to kill it. If we're getting rickrolled, that's just the start.
scary.
Oh yeah. I'm telling
So anyway, I made a comment about this guy on David Pakman's show on
We're back to David Pakman.
Yeah,
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
YouTube.
We went on a
you
really long...
because you inadvertently rickrolled my brain. My brain went to you don't know. My brain went to Rick Astley.
Okay.
I
Never
was
gonna
like,
give
really
you
again?
up.
Okay, look. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So, and I've talked about this before. When I'm really depressed, or if I'm mad or upset about something, it shuts off. But otherwise, even if it's good or bad or however I'm feeling, there's always a jukebox in my head. And it's pretty random. But if somebody says something that makes my brain connect to it, today I had one kid say something. It took me to Johnny Be Good. It's not even a song I dig or in it that much anyway. And then later somebody said something. It took me to I'm Too Sexy from Right Said Fred.
I love that song.
Okay, that's
Love
great.
it.
Reminds me of my dad.
But on my own,
Right? He sang that song once and it freaked me out. Anyway.
but on my own, my brain went doing I'm Too Sexy on a loop for about half an hour, went to the Spanish version of I'm Too Sexy. And I'm sitting in the hallway. I'm like, really? We're going to the Spanish version of I'm Too Sexy? Really?
Now we're doing
Brain,
it.
that's what we're doing? Okay.
Oh my God.
Really? That's what you're doing to me? It could be something like that, but it could also be on top of Old Smoky. It could be in Bingo Is His Name-O. It could be anything that would... my brain just has this most bizarre jukebox that just... Like in those diners where you punch the thing and you never know it's going to kind of come up. So you said something and it rickrolled me. Not on purpose.
So sorry.
It's my... No.
My apologies.
I've learned to roll with it, generally, unless it's like in Bingo Is His Name-O or the Spanish version of I'm Too Sexy. Then I get kind of annoyed. But that's not a you. That's a me. That's a my brain thing.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, so this is what I said on this.
Sorry.
This is what I said on the YouTube. I said to this after this watching the video. I said, as an adult with ADHD that also takes prescribed stimulants, I assure you all that Trump has nothing to be ashamed of if he is taking stimulants to do his best work. He has tics and distraction issues, which many of us do. There's nothing wrong with having ADHD and taking meds for it. What is wrong is he is a wannabe dictator and a terrible human all around. Let's concentrate on the stuff that matters. This ain't it. That was my comment on it. I got 474 people liked my comment and 24 people made a comment on it. I've never had anybody comment much on anything ever that I've posted on YouTube, so I was really rather shocked. But there was a lot of people that agreed with me. Pretty much everybody was like, yeah, because there was a bunch of people on that same thread talking. I mean, actually every single comment I saw, with the exception of maybe one, also was chastising Trump for being on stimulants and stuff. And I saw that there was one person that made a point, and I get it. Of course, there was a point because he was pissed off that the idea that Biden might have been on stimulants. Remember, he was all mad about that, and he wanted him to get out of that. But right, it was projection.
It wasn't a stimulant. It was Ensure.
Right. Either way, I mean,
thank you. I'll be here all weekend.
It's the point is like a lot of people have to do this.
Is a stimulant.
A lot of people have to do this. You know, Trump having ADHD, just like I have ADHD.
So
we're not all assholes.
Have such a hard time with it though. What is people's what's their stick up their ass about stimulants? Why?
Because
do
they don't understand.
Hard time with
because
that?
Because I feel like it's.
If you're a diabetic and you take insulin, do people have an issue with that?
I think because there are people. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually know somebody who completely lied to get a prescription for Adderall.
I say subscription.
I do that all. I know that's one of my worst. Ugh,
it's so.
And I wanted.
They're doing it to get high.
They were, and it made me really mad. I won't lie, because that was during the time where this person doesn't live. Right, this person doesn't live even in our state. But at that time, I was struggling to get my medication. I'm not right now, thank God. But
it does the opposite to their brain.
Right, it makes them stay up all night and party, and I'm like, I just need it so I can go to work and complete tasks.
And what's funny is also people with ADHD. What's funny. I don't know if it's true for all of them, but Benadryl also does the opposite effect. Has the opposite effect. Benadryl will hype you up and not make you drowsy.
Does it stuff you up too? What?
Benadryl does do that to a couple of people I know. You know what? It's done both to me. Oddly, I've had both. Yeah, I've had both. I've fallen asleep and also I've been really awake. I don't know. Yeah, I've done both.
Yep.
Can I? Speaking of you, I had not planned on this. Speaking of YouTube comments.
Yeah.
So. I just real quick. I'm sorry. It's kind of we can go back to
that. Was actually all I really wanted to say about it.
So, Tom the Truth on YouTube, you and your family can go fuck yourselves because from last week's show, because we also post the show on YouTube. Give this podcast up and go home to your families, and you spelled families wrong. You fuck.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Why would he say that?
Because it's the internet.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, give this podcast up and go home to your families.
This is our families.
Well, this is
on some level,
yeah. My home,
like I live here, dude.
I'm home, bro.
I mean, and I live right up the street.
You know, it's really tough for you, too, because there's nothing else on YouTube that you could watch. There's like nothing. Fuck, nothing.
I know.
We're having fun with our families. Like, what's your problem, dude?
Like, actually, you don't have to like us. I don't really care. I don't actually care.
Really, he had nothing better to do than listen to the whole thing. So
I'm like, clearly we're not here for likes.
I don't know if he listened to the whole thing.
We're not here for likes, clearly.
Yes, we are listened to by tens of people. The Stuart Badesso YouTube channel does have 40 subscribers.
I was going to ask you how many. Somebody asked me that, and I said, I don't know. Dave keeps saying tens of something. My daughter asked me.
Yeah.
I have friends that I know on maybe not all the time, but I do have friends. I have some friends in Finland who listen.
My daughter in Barcelona listened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
My cousin who lives in the Schenectady, Saratoga Springs, Albany area. I know he's listened.
From The Great Purge, which I've nicknamed The Great Purge, when I now, hindsight's 2020, I should not have taken down all of those shows. We used to have about 50 listeners a week, and then it would in that 1 week, and then it would be trickle after that each show. We lost a lot since that time, since I took all the shows down after the job issue I had a year or so ago. So
because they'd probably listen to the other ones too.
I don't know,
or like, oh, that seems funny. I'm gonna go listen to that one.
Yeah, whatever happened.
I mean, that's what I do with podcasts. I go, oh, that seems like a funny topic. I'll go listen to that one.
But there's other ways that it's
Oops, sorry,
bro.
Bro,
You don't get to sit in the chair anymore.
Bra.
Bra.
I hate bra.
Ooh, I did my first Skibbity Ohio today.
Oh, you got a Skibbity Ohio today?
Oh, I said it.
Oh, you said Skibbity Ohio?
I did. I said Sigma. I threw a Sigma in there, and the kids got, what, miss, what?
I don't know what the Sigma
I did it
is.
first.
I know
don't
the Skibbity Ohio.
I just put it all in one. I put it all together.
Yeah, no, I'm
And I
not.
just did it all.
Just did like.
did it all. Broke the seal.
Yeah. I
So do you
won't.
have a Skibbity Ohio story?
No. Nope.
No Skibbity in your
Nope.
schools?
I had some over summer school at a handful of 8th graders that tried it for a day or two and saw they weren't getting any reaction from me over it, and they just gave it up. Because
I figure I set the tone. Like,
You're like,
I
I
got so
I
many-
can Skibbity Ohio all of y'all,
I
so
got
whatever.
so
well,
many
if I
other
say
ways.
and it's not cool,
right. I mean, your
I
teachers
just
say.
ruined it.
Yeah. Good job
I-
ruining it.
oh,
Good job.
That was the point.
Man, that means I should start throwing on F-bombs because that's all I get in my room. My rooms.
Oh, I worked on dropping F-bombs, like not using them. Like, we're not going to use those anymore. Dropping them from the vocab. Not using them by dropping them.
They would tell me to fuck off
They will.
and then walk
Like,
out.
let's choose a better word. Like, let's freak out of here.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Oh, I worked on dad jokes.
Oh my God, are you going to ask me if they have Christmas in France now? Because that's exactly what that sounds like.
What?
Do you have Christmas in France?
No.
French dressing.
Christmas.
We did rebus puzzles today for outside of the box thinking. That's how that's how I open class.
Oh, so no, I got to ask you because we still have not sat down and watched Spinal Tap together.
No.
Have you seen Better Off Dead?
Is that where he puts the thingy on top of his head?
No, that's
Same
say anything.
actor.
Same actor,
Same
but that's
actor,
say
though.
anything.
No, that's okay. Same actor.
Yeah, that's say anything.
Maybe.
Better Off Dead is such a great movie. Do you own it? I own it.
I might have had kids at the
It
time,
is in the
so I
house.
might have. It sounds so familiar.
I quote inherited it in the marriage. My
Oh,
wife
okay, cool.
had it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Better Off Dead. It sounds so familiar.
Oh my God, such a great movie.
Okay.
I might have.
All right.
Just give me the premise of the movie. I might have seen it. They all blur.
A guy loses his girlfriend to the captain of the ski team, and so he tries different ways to kill himself, and then he ends up hooking up with the
French
foreign
girl.
exchange student.
Yes, I've seen it.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's the mom. Christmas. Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky.
One of my favorite
Which is
lines.
actually the best one. Good line.
It's such a great line.
I think I've only seen little bits.
Sorry,
See,
Mom
that's
blew
the
up,
thing.
Ricky.
I-
It's
like
really
I
one
said,
of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like that
if
line.
I had kids
Oh
at
my
the time,
God.
I've only seen bits and pieces of so many
man.
movies. If I had kids.
You can't even show that because of all the suicide references now. You
Yeah,
can't use it in
probably not.
school, even as a...
Speaking
No,
of,
that's true.
I had to teach my kids Build-A-Man. Have you ever played that game?
No,
No.
but I'm telling you what, you're going to tell us about it off the show because we are like well over an hour.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll
Talk
always
about
back.
things at another time.
But again, I would like to just remind you that we always have Stuart Berdasso Radio going 24/7. It is protesting music, but with our comedy as well. And I apologize. I don't apologize because if y'all were Patreon patrons of ours, we could afford to go adless. But there's like 4 minutes of ads an hour. You'll be fine. But
Oh, that's almost nothing.
right, and I listen to the station not because I do it, but I don't have to, but I could do the station and not listen to it, but I actually do like it. So you should go totally check it out when you're in the mood to stick it to the man. And this podcast is going, and StuartBerdasso.com has 1,012 things. We're on all the socials, even though I still want to get the fuck off Twitter because that dude is creepy and pisses me off.
Oh my God! Did you see what he said
Yeah,
about
I know,
Taylor Swift?
I know.
What?
Hey.
All right,
we'll talk about the show.
We'll be gone. We'll be back next
We'll
week.
talk about
Bye.
it later. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm Rich Honkies, and I approve this message. I'm Rich Honkies, and I've spent my entire political career supporting our troops. I have a consistent record of voting to spend our money to send tanks, planes, and bombs to countries all over the world in the name of democracy and to support our troops. Nothing is too good or too expensive for the kids we send overseas to protect us from the enemies we create. And when our soldiers become veterans, I'm there for them, fighting to name countless roads, bridges, and hospital wings after them. So this November, help me create and support more veterans.
Paid for by Money for Rich Honkies.